From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider for Alabama athletics. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Alabama football now turns its attention to Saturday's game with LSU at 6 p.m. Head coach Nick Saban gave his thoughts on the matchup on Monday.
I think we're like the fifth straight ranked team that they're, about to play. I think they're a very talented team. A lot of good players. When they play well, they've played extremely well, and they've shown an ability against certain opponents this year to be pretty dominating. So I think it's really important that our players do a great job in preparation, have the proper respect for a team that I know, regardless of how they've played in the past, they'll play really well against us. This is always that kind of game, and that's what we got to get ready for. But I think these guys have great balance on offense.
I'll have more in a moment.
You hear a lot today about the BAMA factor. Well, what exactly is it? It's a saying that Coach Saban uses constantly. It's actually what the program is built on: commitment, discipline, effort, toughness, and pride. Well, at Dex Imaging, we believe in these same principles to be the very best we can be day in and day out. So for all of your business office solutions, put Dex Imaging to work for you. Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider of Alabama athletics.
Alabama linebacker Christian Harris was named a semifinalist for the Butkus Award. The Butkus Foundation announced on Monday morning. Harris is one of 12 collegiate semifinalists for the award, which honors the nation's best linebackers at the collegiate and high school levels. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Dex Imaging. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Who you are is more important than what you do. The only way that you're going to have any kind of success in your life, you have to buy into a process of what it takes to reach a goal. How can I be the best I can be at what I do? How much of your time was spent and how much was it invested in your goal? You can't do it unless you can overcome adversity, because that's what makes great things great, is the things that you had to overcome to accomplish them. We have about 5 choices in our life, and everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity. You have to have special focus. It doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, but without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
You have to have toughness. What does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus, to make you give in? You're tired, or you don't feel like giving effort or finishing the play like you should. I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. It's going to be difficult if you're getting yourself ready to play at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect the next play. That's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. What does it take to break you?
We should help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Earn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life. Be a good father. Help other people. Accomplish something of significance. Make a difference. That would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference and help everybody's spirit in a positive way. God bless you, and roll Tide.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992, winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, voted the SEC Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, also seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. He is the winningest quarterback in Alabama history, 35-2-1, member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is Lars Anderson, New York Times best-selling author, 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated, and professor at the University of Alabama. Live from the AVX studios in Birmingham, Alabama, The Jay Barker Show.
We had really good practices, both wearing helmets. We put in some game plan stuff versus Alabama. I thought our guys did a very good job. Thursday, they had a team activity and they had the weekend off, so everybody should come back today ready to go. We're relatively healthy, more than we've been in the past. Some guys got the healed up, so it was a good week for us. I want to congratulate John Robinson, Paul Bear Bryant, Lifetime Achievement Award. Coach Robinson is a great friend of mine. He's been with me. I use him as a mentor. He's in our office every day. He works the same hours everybody else works, from 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. The guy is relentless, and he's a great man to have on our staff. Obviously, this is a big game for us in Alabama, playing them on the road. Great atmosphere there. Alabama's offense is averaging 46 points a game, almost 600 yards per game. Bryce Young is a great quarterback. He's mobile. He's accurate. Brian Robinson is really, really an impressive back. His one cut and the way he gets downhill, outstanding back. John Mechie and Jamison Williams, outstanding receiver. But as Alabama does, that line is fantastic. Evan Neal, who we recruited here, is going to be All-American, the first-round draft choice, one of the best guys we've seen. Their defense is very stout, 21 points a game, 4.25, some 3.4. Will Ennis is a guy that we recruited. He's got 9 sacks. We got to know where he's at all time. For Darius Mathis is doing a good job. And their transfer, Henry Toto, is a team leading tackle with 59. On special teams, a guy that was committed to us for about 3 months, Jojo Earl, is a dynamic returner. Well, we're looking forward to this week's practice. We're looking forward to getting everybody back today and attacking the week. Any questions?
Yeah, there was a report about 30 minutes ago that said Miles Brennan entered the transfer portal. Can you confirm the status of that?
Yeah, he just came meet with me. He said, Coach, he was teary-eyed. It was a tough decision for him. He thought that he just needed to find a place that he felt that he can go play for 1 year and start. And obviously, I know he's not going to play this year. He's not ready. It was a tough decision. I think he and his family made it. I told him, I said, listen, hey, hold your head high. You gave all you can to LSU. You graduated from LSU, and I wish him the best.
Hey, Coach, I know you don't like to get into spreads or numbers, but you heard that y'all are 28.5-point underdogs, and what do you think about this total lack of respect by Vegas this week?
No, we don't pay attention to that. This first I heard of it. I remember I was at Ole Miss. We came to play LSU. We was a 27-point underdog. Went into overtime, so those games can go either way. They're a very good football team. Give them credit, but we're gonna be ready to play.
Hey, Ed, going back to Miles. Obviously, you've coached a long time, and you dealt with a lot of players who've dealt with injuries and tough situations. But does your heart really go out to him? I mean, is a guy who came here and has waited his turn, and just through one bad situation or another, never really got to live up to get his chance to really play.
Yeah, and I got to give it to Miles and his family. He remained patient. He waited his turn, and I thought he played very good last year at the beginning of the year. Right? I thought he was very accurate. I thought he made the right throws. He got a strong arm. And I thought he was going to end up having a great year. And unfortunately, he got hurt. And then unfortunately, he got hurt again this year. And things happened that way to where he thought that he had to move on and take a shot at another place. Hey, Joe Burrow did the same thing. It worked out for him. I hope the same thing works out for Miles. He wants to play pro ball. I hope he gets that shot.
And even with Miles, I mean, obviously he wasn't able to play this year, so it doesn't affect y'all in the future. But I guess just how would you assess the quarterback room moving forward when he won't be a part of the team next year? Even though
same thing. Nothing's changed really. For the remainder of the year, and I don't know who they're gonna bring in. What are they gonna talk about them? That's for them, But nothing's changed, because he wasn't with us. I didn't expect him to play. I knew his rehab was taking a little bit longer, and he has some other things that he got to work on. And he had a little knee that was hurt, stuff like that. So I think there's some things that he needs to get fixed up, get healthy. And but as far as the quarterback room, it's gonna stay the same. The thing that with Garrett, he only has one more game to play that he can get redshirt. That he needs to redshirt if we decide to get redshirted. So that's something we talked about. Max is our starting quarterback. I'm gonna play Garrett if we can, and we're gonna talk about what game we're gonna play him in.
You talked a lot about Alabama. talked a lot about Alabama last week, but if you could kind of talk about Max's preparation. You mentioned that he was a little banged up. How did that week help him?
Yeah, his shoulder was very sore, but he practiced every day. He knows Garrett's breathing right down the back of his neck. So he's a competitor. He knows he can't blink. So he practiced. It was a kind of a walk-through practice. I think he should be full speed today.
Yeah, hey, Coach, you mentioned you guys kind of took this week to get a little bit healthier. Is there any updates on some of those guys that were kind of, I guess, maybe questionable last week?
Yeah, Jason Hines is going to be back. Devontae Lee is going to be back. The guys that I know for sure are not going to be back is Safe Ryan. I don't think he's going to be available this week. Bo told me this morning he's out. We're still waiting for Cordell Flott to get better. We think he will. But he won't be practicing today or tomorrow. Hopefully he can practice Wednesday.
Hello. Welcome into the Jay Barker Show. Jay's taking some time off. Lars Anderson is with me. My name's Matt Coulter, longtime broadcaster in the state of Alabama, and very blessed to have done so. Lars, meanwhile, is in Tuscaloosa. Of course, he is on the journalism faculty at the University of Alabama, and he joins us at our flagship station, our affiliate in Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9. Hi to Lars.
Afternoon, Matt. Great to hear your voice. I think we were just together. It feels like a few hours ago, having a deep dive discussion about all things sports at our favorite place to gather in Birmingham. But Matt, I want to spend a good portion of this show looking back as much as looking forward, and we're going to have Trent Richardson in studio here in a little bit. And, this Saturday, the 2011 Alabama National Championship winning team is going to be honored at halftime. And I know Trent will be there. And first off, I can't believe it's been 10 years. I covered that game, and I've written extensively about that game, about that team. The book I wrote, Storm and the Tide, was really all about the 2011 season. Beginning in April 27th, 2011, with that day of horror in Tuscaloosa and all throughout Alabama, and with the tornadoes that ripped across our state. And it is important to remember that it wasn't just Tuscaloosa that got hit that day. It was communities all across the South and all across Alabama. But the game this weekend is on November 6th, and it will be 10 years and one day to the what was known as sort of the latest game of the century, when LSU, ranked number 1, came into Tuscaloosa to play Alabama number 2. And I'll just never forget, LeBron James was there. Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, she had a private box. On the sideline during pregame warmups, you saw Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, shaking hands and posing for pictures. You saw Robert Horry, the 7-time NBA champ and Alabama alum. Big Shot Bob, who's been on our show and been very gracious with his time with us. And then, Hugh Green, the former Tampa Bay great, was there. And as I mentioned yesterday, I talked to police officers, and the estimate was that there were 60,000 fans without tickets that sat in the darkness of the campus quad, just there to simply hear the rise and fall of the crowd noise and just to be a part of the atmosphere. And Matt, I think in the long history of SEC football, which began play back in 1933, there had never been a hotter ticket. And so, I want to discuss this with Trent. I want to discuss it with you. I think it's almost like we have had to have the benefit of time, and we do now. It's been a decade to really appreciate the magnitude of that game. And I know some people will look at the final score 9-6 and say, "Oh, it was a dud," but I don't think so at all. It was just it was an incredibly intense game. I mean, I remember I was there that starry November evening, right? And there were 600 other credential media, and there was usually just 350 who cover Crimson Tide home games, and just the amount of talent on that field. Gosh, I mean, I think so far, there's still guys in the NFL from that game, and I think collectively they've made over 600 million of all the players who on that field. I think 53 or so went on to play in the NFL. So I want to spend some time looking back on that, and getting your reflection, as well as looking ahead to the game this Saturday, Matt.
Lars, real deep dive on that week leading up to the game of the century. By the way, I think there have been 100 games of the century. First I remember was Arkansas, Texas in '69. But
hey, the real one was Oklahoma, Nebraska, 71.
I know we could go on and on about this, but we'll get Trent in here and he'll decide. But that's back when there was actually another sports talk station in Birmingham. It was called The Zone. And you and I did a broadcast. It's going to be teased for our audience on the Jay Barker Show and for one and only Lars Anderson. You remember us doing a broadcast live from a location. We did a remote. I'm going to throw that at you on the other side of this break. You're listening to the Jay Barker Show. Jay's taking a day off. It's Lars Anderson. I'm Matt Coulter. Brent Richardson, who is a huge part of that game, will be joining us in just a moment. Stay with us.
You're listening to the Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
You know what happens in a plasma chamber?
Big stuff. Science stuff.
Diamonds. I'm Tom Osmond. Fincher & Osmond Jewelers carries artisan-created diamonds.
Earth and human safe.
And bigger. Lots bigger.
Fincher & Osmond diamonds from the mines or artisan-created diamonds.
They're all diamonds.
If you want to give her the big stuff, you've got to see these diamonds.
FincherandOsmond.com. A little tricky to find on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more, plus free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special. So talk to a real person, not a website. Call your Allstate agent, Andrew Kniffer, today at 205-722-9201 or find us on Facebook, Andrew Kniffer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
If you're a homeowner or business owner and need glass installation, sales, or repair, call 345-3511 and talk to the glass pros at Alabama Central Glass. They specialize in beveled mirrors, window glass, furniture tops, insulated glass replacement, storefronts, shower doors, tub enclosures, and acrylic. Alabama Central Glass also has vinyl windows, and they offer residential window repair. Call 345-3511 or visit the Alabama Central Glass showroom at 3878 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa.
Under the basket, reverse layup, good. Fight for the rebound underneath, won by Alabama, just like this ball game. Won by the Crimson Tide. DJ, turn the music up, keep it going, because the Crimson Tide are dancing to the round of 32. Your Alabama women's basketball team returns to Coleman Coliseum for the 2021-22 season. Don't miss out on the action as the Crimson Tide hosts great SEC games, including Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Visit RollTide.com to purchase your tickets today.
Shantae, can you sweep that, please?
Mina's salon business is growing faster than she can keep up with. She needs a new shop manager before her bookings go out of style.
Curtain bangs and balayage would look so good on you. Just hang on one second. Can you please answer that?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up, there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor in Tuscaloosa with over 24 years experience. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. The high today 63. For tonight, mostly fair with a low at 44. Cooler tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy. The high 55. Very cool on Thursday. The chance of some light rain at times. The high 53. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 61 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Those all over the field. They're strong in the middle, very strong as they've been. Their corners are great players. Their star players are an excellent player, the nickel. Very talented football team and well coached. You know, they have 11 interceptions. They plus 7 in the turnover ratio, which is very good.
Coach, 2 years ago at this time, it was such a big win for you in the program. Have you reflected on any of that? Have you thought about any of that this week?
No, I haven't had time. I was sitting out there thinking, wow, how things have changed. Last time we're going over there, I was sitting on my porch out there. I knew if we win that game, we had a chance. But we had to go through Alabama, and that was a big victory for us. Things are different now, but still LSU, Alabama. My job is to get these guys to play as hard as we can. We're going to be prepared, and we're going.
There he is. He's the man. Coaching his last game against the University of Alabama while at LSU. Future, who knows? Hey, I'm Matt Coulter on the Jay Barker Show. Also with Lars Anderson, who joins us from our affiliate in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Lars, I want to steer us away from this particular subject for a moment because I was very saddened to read just a little while ago that longtime sports writer Charles Hollis passed away. And if I'm not mistaken, he did picks every week on AL.com. He did last week's pick because I think he picked Auburn to beat Ole Miss. And I don't know if you were ever around. Did you know Charles Hollis?
I can't say that I had more than a handful of conversations with Charles, but certainly admired his work, even from afar when I was in New York City and working at Sports Illustrated. And then when I moved down here in 2004 or 5, really became more aware of him and the respect he commanded. And, he was inducted into the Alabama Sports Writers Hall of Fame in 2008. And he passed away yesterday at his farm in Coleman. And throughout his career, he covered both Alabama and Auburn, and he was one of those guys that really good reporter, great beat writer, and when you're working at a national magazine like Sports Illustrated and you come into a city or come to cover a game in the local area, I would always seek out the beat writers and have sort of a conversation with them about, hey, what are not to pick their brain on get information from them, but just ask like, hey, what are the kind of the rules here? Like, are you allowed to are there certain players who are off limits in the locker room? Is there a certain question you shouldn't ask the coach? Because you don't know, because you're parachuting into a foreign place. And Charles certainly was a person who I would who I would approach, but just his career. I mean, he worked at the Birmingham News for more than 40 years. And I know everybody in this state is aware of his work, who follows and has followed Auburn and Alabama throughout the years. Covered Auburn in the 80s and then transitioned to Alabama later in that decade. Won 12 National Associated Press Awards, 42 ASWA awards, and 6 Alabama Association Press Awards. I mean, just a very decorated writer in his field. And I don't have really many personal stories, but maybe you do, Matt, and I'm sure you knew him. What are your memories?
I totally mean this as a compliment. He was like the left tackle of sports writers, just dependable, always making the blocks. He was kind of lineman mentality. Yeah, I met him in '82 when I first moved to Birmingham to work for WBTM TV, and he was one of the first. You're all in the same arena, so to speak. So you meet all the writers and all the photographers. And as you well know, it's a really cool fraternity and sorority. It was not men only, but actually at that time, pretty much mostly it was. But I just remember him being very genuine and very professional. And I do know this because it's been a while since I spoke with him. The last time I spoke with him, man, he loved that farm in Coleman. I'm pretty sure that he was born in Coleman, but never heard anybody say anything bad about him. Coaches, fans, peers. He's a very, very good man, and I think it pretty much goes without saying this was unexpected. I read him last week, for goodness sakes. So God bless him. God bless his family, and really, really good man and writer.
Yeah,
has left, and he's gone to the big newspaper in the sky.
Absolutely. And he was still writing weekly picks for AL.com, and just his last column was October 29th. He picked Auburn to beat Ole Miss 38-35. Got that one right. Tigers won 31-20. And he was still he produced a popular SEC spring preview. The 75th edition of that was posted last spring. And in talking to a few people this morning and reading more about him, the descriptive word that keeps coming up with Charles was fair. He was fair.
Yeah.
Auburn fans didn't like him because he covered Alabama. Alabama fans didn't like him because he thought he was too much of Auburn. And that is in this state. That is the ultimate compliment, that you have both fan bases sort of upset with you all the time. Because I work at Alabama and they supply a paycheck to me, I'm always accused of being, pro Bama. And look, I always try to be transparent, and I'm not really doing the daily writing stuff anymore, magazine style writing. I'm focused on books and our show. But, I can't imagine doing it for as long as Charles did, right? And just still being known as someone who was intensely fair. And to me, that is the biggest compliment. I don't think he had a single enemy among coaches, players, because that's all the people we cover want to be. They want to be treated with fairness. They want to be treated with humanity, want to be treated with respect. And also you want to make sure that there's an element of empathy in how you report, and how you write. Like, you always want to think, okay, how is this going to make the other person feel that I'm writing about? And look, if it's really newsworthy, you write, you print it, you go for it, even if it is going to sort of hurt some feelings. But if it's not newsworthy, I've always just told my students, and this is I've tried to do all my career, man, pull back. Don't print it if it's not newsworthy, and it's just it may be sort of sexy, or it may get you more clicks on Twitter or more followers on Twitter. Man, don't do that. And again, from all accounts, Charles wasn't a person who did anything like that at all. And certainly Matt, we lost a good one. We lost a good one.
Yeah, we really did. We really, really, truly did. So rest in peace, my dear friend, Charles Hollis. Before we went to our last break, I told everybody that I was going to quiz you. 10 years ago, you and I were sitting in a certain place on The Zone, which was a sports talk station back at that time. You remember where we were? And we're sitting there in the lobby of this place. And
lobby.
Man, this game was just so intense. Even on sports talk radio, it was intense.
I was going to say we were at Tire Engineers.
bus?
I was going to say we were at Tire Engineers, but we weren't. We were outside. I remember freezing my tail off at Tire Engineers. But
oh yeah, now that was on the South Side. But I'm not gonna. It's not good radio. Just keep trying to quiz you. We were at the golf course out at Eagle Point, sitting in the pro shop.
oh, that's right. Yeah,
And
the
taking
golf course that no
call
longer
after
exists.
call. Right. In fact, my daughter lives on what used to be that course. There's a pond in her backyard that has 7 of my Titleists in it. But you're right. It was still and it was a great golf course. But we sat there, and you and I both made our predictions. We both picked Alabama, and
Probably,
said,
I
why
probably
Alabama? These teams.
Yeah, I probably predicted it in a high-scoring affair. Alabama, like 42-35.
Yeah, and it ended up being 9-6. It was a great football.
Well,
But-
on the other side, Matt, I really want to break it down and kind of go pregame, quarter by quarter, and just go back and examine that game. And we won't linger too long on it. But it was such a huge contest in the history of both programs, and in a way, I think that the loss ended up being good for Alabama because it catapulted them not just to one national championship, but many more. And in 2012, winning back to back, and I don't look. I don't think it was a coincidence that Alabama won back-to-back national championships after April 27th, 2011. They were playing for a cause that was greater than themselves. They were playing for the community, the city of Alabama, and the city of Tuscaloosa and the state of Alabama.
We'll get into more of this on the other side of the break, but I distinctly remember that after that game, they loosened it up and they let A.J. McCarron take control of that football team, because before that, it was all about 3. It's all about Trent, and rightfully so. One hell of a running back, and he's going to be in the studio in just a little while. This is the Jay Barker Show. I'm Matt Coulter, along with Lars Anderson. Josh Smith is our producer. We thank him very much, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.C.O.
The University of Alabama football coach, Nick Saban.
Thank you very much. I'd first of all like to thank and congratulate all the recipients that have been recognized here tonight for their service to the community and to try and help those that were affected by the terrible tragedy of April 27th. I would also like to take a moment to, each and every one of us have some kind of memory in our heart and mind, as our family does, of Ashley Harrison, to memorialize the 6 students that we lost. And hopefully We all have gratitude for those memories that we have, but we also have a deep appreciation of life itself and an appreciation for the lives that we have and what we can accomplish and how we can serve others and how we can be all we can be in everything that we choose to do. And I also think that we should have a great appreciation, and these young students should also be an inspiration to us that life itself is so fleeting, and their love and the things that they gave and the memories that we have that they no longer have the opportunity for, that we can take advantage of that and use that as an inspiration for us and all that we do in our future. You know, life is very fleeting, and a lot of people put a lot of value on a lot of things that really don't have much value. But as you get older, you put value on relationships. And I think that I'm so proud to be a part of a community that took advantage of creating tremendous relationships in response to a terrible tragedy to try to help other people. We've tried to do that, but so many people at our university and in the state and all over America have contributed to help this community. And I think this should be a lesson to us all, that we should help others. We should not need a tragedy to inspire us to try to help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Who was the greatest leader of all time? Julius Caesar, because he almost conquered the world, or Alexander the Great? I would think that it was probably Jesus Christ, who had no army, had no power, also would serve other people and set an example. And now a lot of people in the world are Christian that follow what he said and what he did. But that should be an inspiration to all of us to really use our lives to affect other people in a positive way. And we should think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Like the movie Saving Private Ryan, the last scene on the bridge when Tom Hanks gets shot, Private Ryan's holding him up. What did he say? Earn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life, be a good father, help other people, accomplish something of significance, make a difference. And that would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference. You know, the spirit of this is something that's special to our team, and we're really looking forward to this season for two reasons. I think the spirit that we have at this university, that we have, and the passion that we have for football is something that can be a little bit of a diversion to what we all have to do to continue to rebuild our community. But I also think it can continue to create a tremendous awareness on a national level of everyone who comes to see one of our games, of what they might be able to do to help and serve our community and do something additional to help our community rebuild itself. So I really am honored to be here, to speak with you, to memorialize the students that no longer have the opportunity to be students and be with us, and hope that this is an inspiration to each and every one of you to live your life with a tremendous spirit, to take advantage of all opportunity that comes to you.
That was the moment. That was the moment I knew that Nick Saban was going to retire as the head coach at Alabama. It was August 28th, 2011, before the start of the 2011 season. This is the Jay Barker Radio Show with Lars Anderson and Matt Coulter. You could hear and feel the heat of the emotion in Nick Saban's voice that night as he is talking to students who still, a few months later, after the horror of April 27th, 2011, were scared, frightened, unsure of what the future held. Nick Saban then, in the evening, in the dark, steps up to a podium, I believe is on the steps of Low Library, right at the Quad, and the lighting was so amazing because it's like it's almost the lighting's behind him, so he's silhouetted and speaking essentially extemporaneously, no notes, and going on and on about it's the first time and only time, and I could be wrong about this, but as long as I've been covering Alabama football, and my time in Alabama essentially coincides with Nick Saban's arrival, never heard him talk about Jesus Christ before. And essentially what he's saying is follow his example, the power of love. Everybody needs to love one another to get through this. And then to go and talk about the movie Saving Private Ryan, the idea of earn this, earn this. That is when I knew he wasn't just a football coach anymore. He was the leader of a community that was still in deep grief. And he became rooted in Tuscaloosa in a way that he had never been attached to another community in his entire career. You know, he was known as this mercenary coach who hopscotched around, building up a program, leaving, building up a program, leaving, going to the NFL, leaving. But after I heard those words, I bet after my book, The Storm and the Tide, came out, I was probably on, I don't know, 200 different shows. And I would always be asked, is Nick Saban leaving? I'd be like, no. When the rumors came around, oh, Texas is wanting him. Miss Terry is in Austin looking at houses. Absolutely not leaving Tuscaloosa. He became so invested, and Miss Terry as well. And I've said this so many times, but in the 24 hours after the tornado, Coach Saban went into the hardest hit places on 16th Street in McFarland, and he hugged and embraced more people in that 24-hour period than he had in the entirety of his life collectively. That did something to him. That day did something to all of us. And so that's one reason why for our show, we always play that clip in the opener, because it is a defining moment in the Nick Saban era. It's a defining moment in the greatest run in college football history. Matt Coulter, your thoughts on that speech?
I would like to take just a minute for you to explain why we're doing this at this particular time, the significance of this week and LSU.
Well, it's the 10-year anniversary of the game of the century on November 5th. Or excuse me, yes, November 5th. And the game this week is November 6th. So it's going to be 10 years in one day. And that was a key game in the Alabama winning the national championship. And so, yes, Alabama lost that game, but in a lot of ways, they almost won because they figured out LSU and would go on to beat them in the national title 21-0. And so, in this weekend in Tuscaloosa at halftime, the 2011 team is going to be honored at halftime. And to me, that is I mean, every team is special that wins a national championship, but this one was different because they weren't just playing for themselves or for their school. They were playing for the lives lost. They were playing for the families still grieving. They were playing to bring hope. They were playing to be, and I know it's cliche to say this, but they were playing to be a diversion. They were playing to give a sense of normalcy back to a town and a state that had absolutely had its heart and soul ravaged by the worst outbreak of storms in the history of this state. And, you know, at the end of the national championship game in 2011, Alabama wins 21-0. Our co-host, Trent Richardson, scores the only touchdown in that game. Nick Saban gathers the team in the locker room, and as usual, he raises his hand, and that means for everybody to be quiet. And he yells as loud as he can, "We buried the pain tonight." That is why that team, Matt, is so special.
And it brings back all of those memories as we head into Saturday's game when LSU comes to the University of Alabama once again. Two vastly different games, by the way. Didn't LSU fail to get in Alabama territory until the fourth quarter? Something like that.
Sorry, Matt, what was that?
Alabama laid it.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the game itself and how.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, LSU, yeah, they didn't cross the 50-yard line until late in the fourth quarter. It was a complete beat down. But I do want to get into the 10-year anniversary of the game of the century. And also, of course, we're going to examine more about this game on Saturday. Alabama is just a huge favorite. And, you know, no one expects this one to be close. And I think Ed Orgeron, you know, about ready to exit the stage here, Matt.
What was the last number you saw on the point spread?
I think it's 28.5.
I thought it was 3 touchdowns, and then somebody told me that yesterday. What? Whatever folks want to do, and I'm certainly not opening up a service. Whatever I say, go the other way. Whatever Lars says, and it applied last night, go the other way. This is Jay Barker Show. I'm Matt Coulter along with Lars Anderson. We will be right back to talk more about Alabama and LSU.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. The high today 63. For tonight, mostly fair with the low at 44. Cooler tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy. The high 55. Very cool on Thursday. The chance of some light rain at times. The high 53. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 61 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Fall is a great time to get your home improvement projects done with the help of Banks and Company Hardware in Utah. They have a great selection of hardware, lumber, sheetrock, and home repair products. For yard work, they carry Husqvarna blowers, weed eaters, and chainsaws. If you're a hunter, Banks and Company Hardware has deer corn, moultrie feeders, deer scents, hunting clothes, jackets, boots, orange vests, and hats. Fall is a perfect time to shop Banks and Company Hardware. Open Monday through Saturday in downtown Utah.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beverage set out to build a micro distillery incorporating elements of artisan craftsmanship from boutique wineries into spirits. Pot distilled and made from corn, Tito's is naturally gluten-free. Spreading the love one drop at a time. Crafted with love in Austin, Texas. Visit Tito'sVodka.com to learn more. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got some squeaky wipers? Sounds like it's time for a new set. We've got deals to help you get the job done and get ready for rainy fall weather. Right now, you can get a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Silicone Advantage wipers. And we've even got more ways to shop, like our free same-day store pickup and next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor in Tuscaloosa with over 24 years experience. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Hello, welcome back to the Jay Barker Show. I'm Matt Coulter in studio. Lars Anderson is also in studio, but he is in Studio 1A. That's in Tuscaloosa, in the studios of Tide 100.9. He is over there because on Tuesdays, he teaches class. There he is, University of Alabama, Lars Anderson. Earlier in the show, we heard from Ed Orgeron with the game coming up. We did a significant dive into the significance of the Alabama-LSU game back in 2011. It led to Lars doing fabulous book. That was one of your New York Times bestsellers, was it not?
It was. I think it may have been my bestseller to date. Book number 12. But Season in the Sun, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's rising on the charts.
Buy 2. One for yourself and one to give to someone for Christmas.
I'm going to be talking about the Season in the Sun with Colin Cowherd again today. I'm doing his podcast this afternoon. So I look forward to being with Colin again. I was on the show last week and going to dig a little deeper into A Season on the Sun this afternoon.
Lars made a big impression.
He's a good
Jay
guy.
Barker is on assignment. He is on assignment for today. Meanwhile, Trent Richardson is doing the studio here in just a little bit. Lawrence Anderson in Tuscaloosa, as I just said. I'm in the studios of AVX, and we'll be right back. We got to talk about the World Series, Game 6 tonight, for goodness sake. And also next hour, the most trending viral story I have seen in quite some time. It's all on the Jay Barker Show and BamaInsider.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
At Schaefer Plastic Surgery, knowing they treat you like family, you get a free opening consultation. Not normally you get that for elective surgeries. You do, Dr. Schaefer. And he also combines experience gained from nearly 2 decades in practice, 8 years in advanced training to beautiful, transformative results for patients. As a board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Schaefer's goal is to exceed expectations while being dedicated to safety before, during, and after the procedure. Go online at SchaeferPlasticSurge.com. That's SchaeferPlasticSurg.com or 205-278-7969. For more information and located on Highway 280 across from Grandview Hospital. Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer. Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors. Big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarding part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for your high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.C.O.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff, its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Who you are is more important than what you do. The only way that you're going to have any kind of success in your life, you have to buy into a process of what it takes to reach a goal. How can I be the best I can be at what I do? How much of your time was spent and how much was it invested in your goal? You can't do it unless you can overcome adversity, because that's what makes great things great, is the things that you had to overcome to accomplish them.
We have about 5 choices in our life, and everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity. You have to have special focus. It doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, but without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
You have to have toughness. What does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus, to make you give in? You're tired or you don't feel like giving effort or finishing the play like you should. I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. It's going to be difficult. You're getting yourself ready to play at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect the next play. That's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. What does it take to break you?
We should help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Earn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life. Be a good father. Help other people. Accomplish something of significance. Make a difference. That would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference and help everybody's spirit in a positive way. God bless you and roll tide.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992, winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, voted the SEC Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, also seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. He is the winningest quarterback in Alabama history, 35-2-1, member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is Lars Anderson, New York Times best-selling author, 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated, and professor at the University of Alabama. Live from the AVX studios in Birmingham, Alabama, The Jay Barker Show.
Goodness, is it beautiful? I'm looking out our huge windows here at the AVX studios in Homewood, Alabama. And I think I'd have to do a 360 to even find a hint of a cloud. It is a beautiful day. By the way, you're listening to the Jay Barker Show. My name's Matt Coulter, sitting in for Jay. I'm doing kind of the driving here in our AVX studios. Meanwhile, Lars Anderson, by the way, just so you know, Jay's fine. He's on assignment, as we say in the business. Lars Anderson, meanwhile, is at Tide 100.9. Lars, we were getting in the Alabama LSU game, and we will, but I understand there is breaking news concerning a former University of Alabama wide receiver.
Yes, and it is really not good. This is according to TMZ, and look, you have to consider the source, but TMZ gets things right more than they get things wrong, especially recently, and now it's being reported by other outlets as well that Raiders star wide receiver Henry Ruggs III, former Alabama player who was the 12th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, was involved in a serious car accident in Las Vegas Tuesday morning. And right now they're saying that the 22-year-old Ruggs, the crash occurred around 3:40 a.m. local time. A source close to Ruggs told TMZ that he's expected to be okay. Then a law enforcement official told TMZ that at least one person involved in the crash has died, and that now the police are telling TMZ that Ruggs was behind the wheel driving his Chevy Corvette when he crashed into a Toyota RAV4 around 3:39 a.m. The Toyota caught fire, and the first responders located a deceased person in the SUV, in the Toyota RAV4. Ruggs was transported to a local hospital for treatment on non-life-threatening urgencies, and the cops told TMZ that Ruggs showed, quote, signs of impairment, unquote, at the scenes, and that, and I'm hesitant to even say this, but this is just what TMZ is reporting, and that TMZ has said that the police are planning on charging Ruggs with DUI resulting in death. So, and now that story has been picked up by Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk, and so it sounds just like a horrific scene here, and I'm looking at pictures of the accident, and both cars are just absolutely totaled, Matt.
Tragic. It's just on every possible level, particularly to the person that was killed, their family. Just prayers go out in every single direction. God bless. That's tough to take, man. It's just it kind of goes back to what Nick Saban said a little while ago. Life is fleeting.
Absolutely. You know, he was one of the fastest players in the history of Alabama, and again, first round pick. And it's just, boy, his whole life was sort of right there in front of him. And, you know, the football stuff means nothing right now. And you just hope that that maybe these reports are inaccurate. But like I said, it's sort of being widely reported now that what I just articulated is in fact the case.
And again, words can't describe this very well at all, but it's just absolutely tragic. And on another sad note, as we get into the second hour of the Jay Barker Show, longtime and very respected sports writer Hollis passed away last night at his home, his ranch, actually. He has property up in Colorado. One of the other things I did remember about Charles E. Love horses. And so I think he stayed with you up in that area and continued to write for AL.com on a weekly basis during the college football season as he would do his picks. Often he was accurate. In fact, he picked Auburn to beat Ole Miss, and guess what happened? It's kind of tough to transition back into football, Lars, but so for that reason, I'm going to go to baseball. You got any? I know you're not the biggest baseball fan in the world, but you keep up with the World Series. Let's just have a brief chat about tonight's matchup. It's Fried versus Garcia on the bump at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Lars has been saying, and he discussed at length yesterday with me after the Braves lost Game 5, he felt like maybe House of Cards pulled out. They're going to fall. You still feel that way?
Okay, so in Game 5, Atlanta has a chance to close it out at home. Grand slam, first inning. They're up 4-0. Looks like they are on their way to the World Championship. And for whatever reason, maybe they lost a little focus, took their foot off the gas pedal, and Astros come back and win the game. I think certainly the psychological the psychological advantage is with the Astros. And I think if Atlanta's going to win the World Series, they got to win it tonight. If this gets to a Game 7, I don't give Atlanta much of a shot at all. I think they need to have a bounce back game. You don't want this to get to 7 games. And to me, it's the season is on the line tonight for Atlanta. But you know, that's just my speculation, and I'm not a baseball guy, but I certainly know how the mind of athletes works. And if this sort of has a snowball effect, if there's a carryover from Game 5 to Game 6, it's hard to see Atlanta riding the ship in Game 7. But Matt, you are a baseball person. What's your analysis of the current state of this series, which is very compelling, I got to say, and I think it's capturing the attention, not obviously just of the people in the South and in Texas, but I think all around the country.
I think people all around the country are pulling for the Atlanta Braves, America's team. One small segment there in southern Texas, Houston, they're pulling for their Astros, but because of the cheating and the sign stealing incident, they probably don't have a lot of favor outside of Texas. But the one thing I'm concerned about, and I think this is all following up on what you're saying as well, is that what's in Atlanta's head. Snit has got to get back in their head if they're thinking, here's what I worry about, Lars. Last year, up 3-1 on the Dodgers, the wheels came off. I'm wondering, since they were up 3-1 and now it's 3-2, if they're not thinking, oh, no, here we go again. And it's up to Brian Snitker to get inside their heads if he senses that's the way they're feeling and make sure that he can try and right the ship mentally. And that's half the battle. You know what Yogi Berra once said, that baseball's 90% physical and the other half is mental. Thought that was funny.
I mean, Yogi Berra, of course, he's
it's
full.
got to transfer onto the field too. And you can't have mental lapses. You got to be totally focused, like they were in game 1, and then Saturday night in game 4. They were just on their game, and they ended up winning it.
Well, you know what cures a lot of problems in baseball is a good pitcher, a good starting pitcher. A good pitcher is always going to beat a good hitter. That's the extent of my knowledge of baseball. I know good pitching beats good hitting any day of the week. So we'll see what happens tonight with Atlanta's it's their best pitcher going. Are you surprised that they didn't save him for game 7?
No, I think he's got a lot of confidence in Ian Anderson. He pitched 5 no innings just the other night, and he will get more than adequate rest. He probably could have flipped them, but I haven't agreed with everything that Snitker has done all season long, but I have agreed more often than not. So I'm going to let him make this call. And then afterwards, if Fried loses, I can beat him up tomorrow. Is that okay? I mean, I reserve that right.
Yeah. But you're a diehard Atlanta fan, right? I mean, you go back to Aaron and
Felipe Alou and Mac Jones. I could go through the starting lineup. However, I forgot to set my alarm last night. So what are you going to do?
Sid Bream.
What?
Who's your all-time favorite Atlanta player? I got to go with Dale Murphy. I got to go Dale Murphy.
I was talking with a friend who lives next door to my daughter, and he pulled out his phone and showed me a picture. It was him and Dale Murphy recently. And Dale Murphy probably was too nice to be in baseball. And he also played on those dreadful Atlanta teams in the 80s. They were bad. But mine is Aaron, but I have many others. I always like Felipe Alou. You know, the Alou brothers, Matty and Jesus and Felipe. They didn't all play for the Braves. I think, though, one time, Lawrence, they all started in the same outfield. All brothers. For, I think, the San Francisco Giants. Does that sound right to you at all?
No.
I'm throwing
but I have no idea.
Talk about a curveball.
I liked Bruce Eggs Benedict, one of the greatest nicknames that Chris Berman ever came up with. I liked a hitter named Terry Harper. If you remember him, I always thought he had a really sweet swing. I liked Steve Avery.
How about Biff Pocoroba?
Yeah.
That's a fun catcher. Benedict went on to be a very successful basketball official, didn't he?
I have no idea.
Eggs Benedict. Again, I'm going in the deep end and then some on Lars Anderson. Lars, have you seen? And
go ahead.
I just wondered. I was going to get to a break and wonder if you have seen this story about former Alabama assistant Jeff Banks. It is trending.
Yes.
It is viral. It is circling the globe at warp speed. It's absolutely. We're going to talk about that.
And let me just give a quick update on Henry Ruggs. ESPN now reporting that Ruggs has in fact been charged with DUI resulting in death in a fiery car crash early Tuesday morning. And according to the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, officers responded to a traffic collision near the intersection of South Rainbow Boulevard and South Spring Valley Parkway involving a Chevy Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. And the preliminary investigation indicates that the front of the Chevrolet collided with the rear of the Toyota, and that that Ruggs showed signs of impairment. And he was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and that, again, he is going to be charged or has been charged with DUI resulting in death. A tragedy in Las Vegas involving Henry Ruggs, former Alabama wide receiver.
You're listening to the Jay Barker Show on the Jay Barker Radio Network, and now on another platform through BamaInsider. and also through YouTube. You can watch us stream if you just saw some photographs of the tragic accident of Henry Ruggs in Las Vegas. So sad. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special. So talk to a real person, not a website. Call your Allstate agent, Andrew Kniffer, today at 205-722-9201 or find us on Facebook, Andrew Kniffer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray Football Forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley Floor and Tile.
It takes flu vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Meet Bob Minetti. In 2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting-edge radiation therapy and surgery. He's been in remission since completion. I'm Keisha Sharp. Since losing my mother to pancreatic cancer, I've been working to share the kind of state-of-the-art work being done by Stand Up to Cancer and Lustgarten Foundation. To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Everybody loves Taco Casa. Everything we do in our store, we prepare in our store. We hand cut all of our tomatoes. We block and shred our own cheese here in the store. So we still hand cut our chips, our sopapillas, our taco shells, our chimalupa bowls. Our chili takes about 4 to 6 hours to make every single day. The goal in that is to provide the freshest, best quality to our customers. So we just look at it as, hey, basically, we're your kitchen. You're just coming to eat in your kitchen. Taco Casa, under the biggest cactus in town.
1225 Sports Bar is the place to be on the Strip for your ultimate game day experience. 1225 Sports Bar is located 2 blocks from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Come meet our staff and enjoy some great food and drinks. 1225 is your new way to game day. With over 30 high-def TVs, along with 5 VIP sections available with dedicated servers, security, and bottle service, we're 1225, your utmost game day destination for entertainment, food, and spirits. Get all the details and make reservations at the1225.com or call us at 205-872-1225.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home, delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easy.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor in Tuscaloosa with over 24 years experience. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. The high today 63. For tonight, mostly fair with the low at 44. Cooler tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy. The high 55. Very cool on Thursday. The chance of some light rain at times. The high 53. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back to the Jay Barker Show. Jay is on assignment. Graciously asking once again, step behind the microphone. My name is Matt Coulter. On the other end of this line is Lars Anderson. renowned sports writer. Lars, going to dive into the poll that's going to come out tonight, but I think it will be a really, really good time for you to update us on your book.
Yeah, I actually have 2 books that came out within about 7 days of each other. Absolute suicide mission for a writer to try to pen 2 75,000, 80,000 word books at the same time. I don't know how I was able to get it done, but Dabo's World is out, and it's about the life and career of Dabo Swinney and the rise of Clemson football. Very unfortunate timing for me because Dabo's World has imploded. And so, we expected, my publisher and I thought that Clemson would sort of be in the thick of it for the national championship race. And this would be a good time to do an examination of Dabo's life. And it really focus on his time in Pelham, his time in Tuscaloosa, and then also working as a commercial real estate agent in Birmingham, and how all that shaped him. I found it a fascinating research project, and Matt, you obviously helped me out. I've said that many times. You helped me with research on the book. And then I have a book also out called A Season in the Sun, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, and the Making of a Champion. It's an inside look at Tampa's run to the Super Bowl last year, and also how they landed Tom Brady in free agency, the behind-the-scenes look at that. One of my favorite stories, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. Once they decided that they were going to sign, once Tom and Tampa decided that they were a match, Jason Light, the general manager of Tampa, calls Tom, and Tom's in his New York City penthouse apartment, and said, "Okay, we need you to take a physical." And Tom was a little put off by that. He's like, "I've been hurt once in my entire career, my 20 years." And he's like, "Well, it's just protocol." So, and this is right when the pandemic started, right? In March of last year. And so couldn't fly Tom down, which you normally would do, to Tampa, have him take the physical, sign the contract, do the press conference. So he does the physical, passes the physical, and now it's like, okay, how are we going to get Tom to sign the contract? He basically, New York is on lockdown. He's in his apartment in I think it's the Chelsea section, which is sort of lower Manhattan. And turns out that one of the employees of the Tampa Bay Bucks had a nephew who lived in New York City. And so they had the nephew, Jason Light, fax the contract to the nephew. And the nephew then gets in a cab and goes to Tom's apartment building. While in the cab, Jason Light calls him up and is like, "Okay, dude, do not blank this up. Like, put a mask on, stay away from Tom, don't mess this up." And this kid is like so nervous. And he arrives at Tom's apartment building, and the doorman is like, he greets the doorman and he said, "Yeah, I'm here to see Tom." The doorman's like, I know. Just go to the elevator and press 12. He's like, "Well, what apartment is it on the 12th floor?" 12. He's like, "Just press 12. It's like, okay. So he presses 12, and this kid's like shaking. Presses 12, goes up, elevator doors open, and boom, he's in Tom Brady's apartment.
Literally in it.
Literally in it. Yeah. That's the only apartment on the top floor, right? It's Tom and Giselle's apartment. And so he's like, hello. And Tom's like, "Follow my voice. I'm in the kitchen." And so he walks in. He walks into the apartment and finds Tom in the kitchen. He's wearing a hoodie. Sets the contract down on like the kitchen counter, and then takes a few steps back. And as Tom is signing, he snaps a picture, has Tom smile, and then that picture gets texted very quickly to the Tampa PR department, and then that is the picture that sort of went out across the world, literally, that Tom Brady was signing with the Bucks, and it was just that one little picture from his iPhone. But so mission accomplished. So the book, it features just so many behind the scenes stories like that, and there's a lot of humor in it, and and Bruce Arians, Bruce, BA, he's one of a kind. Probably don't want a young kid reading this because there's a lot of language in it, but it was a lot of fun to put together. Bruce gave me full access to everyone, and so far the book is selling really well. I mean, it's #1 new release on Amazon, and so thank you for asking about it. Sorry I went on so long about it, but yeah, let's get into what you think the college football rankings are going to be tonight. The College Football Playoff Committee going to release their first round of rankings. How do you think it's going to stack up?
Georgia, obviously.
Yep.
I think Alabama's there
at 2.
And sometimes I have to rethink the criteria as how they put all this together. But it's the committee, right? And they look at some of the polls, and they look at their information, and they've done their research, and they've watched a lot of games. So I hope they're making a very informed decision. I think. Oh, you want an order too?
Yeah.
Georgia. I'm really conflicted about Cincinnati. I mean, they're undefeated. They beat Notre Dame, but that's about it. And if the goal is to get the 4 best teams in America, then I think right now I would have Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. How about you?
I think tonight the rankings are going to be Georgia 1. I think it's going to be Michigan State 2, Oklahoma 3, Cincinnati 4, Alabama 5. And the reason I think Cincinnati will be 4 is because this will give the committee some license, some freeway, so to speak, to drop them once Alabama's strength of schedule gets even better when they play Auburn, suddenly a more formidable Auburn team than we thought, and then Georgia, if they're able to beat Georgia. I mean, look, whoever wins the SEC championship, even if it's Auburn, they're in. And this is an interesting thing. Let's say Auburn loses to Texas A&M this weekend, right? And then Auburn beats Alabama. Okay? And then hold on. I'm getting my so it would be a 3-way tie. So who gets into the SEC championship game? You know who it would be?
It's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it would be Auburn. Auburn wins the tiebreaker because they have one less in-conference loss than A&M because they would have 2, and Alabama would have 2. Auburn lost to Georgia, and who's their other loss to?
Then you're saying if they lose to A&M.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
So Auburn would make it.
So they would have 2. It's not really twisted there. That's a pretty easy tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Because you can just do it based on head-to-head, right?
Yes. So anyway, I don't think it'll get to that point. But yeah, so my like I said, I think Cincinnati is going to be there at 4. I think Alabama is going to be at 5, and but Alabama controls their own destiny. Auburn controls their own destiny. I think Georgia, if they make it through the regular season undefeated, they will end up in the playoffs, regardless of if they win the SEC title game or not. And I think Cincinnati
also,
and I think Cincinnati's out. I really think they're out. It would take what they have to hope. They have to hope that Alabama and Auburn they both lose. They just have to make sure for Cincinnati to get in, they need to make sure that there aren't two SEC teams that make it in. But as of right now, if Georgia were to beat Alabama in the SEC title game, Alabama is obviously out, and that could put Cincinnati in that fourth position. But gosh, if Cincinnati were to play Georgia in the first round of the playoffs, Cincinnati would be a 20-point underdog, maybe not that much. 16, no. I don't know. But I think people are surprised that Cincinnati's definitely not going to be number 2 in the rankings tonight. I think they'll be there at 4. And I think Michigan State is going to be higher because they have they don't have Oklahoma. They have not played well this year. What was it? Tulane almost beat them. Nebraska almost beat them. Heck, Kansas almost beat them. Texas had them down. But if you look at Oklahoma, since Caleb Williams took over, they're a different team. I wouldn't want to play Oklahoma right now, not with Caleb Williams. But
I really wouldn't want to play Ohio State either.
Yeah. Well, I think Ohio State ultimately is going to make it in because they're going to beat Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game. So
Kirby's Visor, who has dialed us up on the comments on the Jay Barker Show through BamaInsider, said he just went with chalk, all undefeated. Georgia, Michigan State, Cincinnati, Wake Forest. Where are the Demon Deacons in all of this? Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter on the Jay Barker Show. We'll be right back with that story that is literally going viral globally, universally. Stay tuned.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.O.
Back on the Jay Barker Show. Jay is on assignment. Matt Coulter in the studio here, Birmingham, and actually, it's in Homewood, right in the middle of Homewood. And Lars Anderson is right in the middle of Tuscaloosa as he prepares for class this afternoon as he teaches journalism at the University of Alabama. He is at our flagship station, which is tied 100.9. I got up this morning, Lars, turned on the radio, and every single radio station I managed to find was all about the thread and the tweets that you're going to see on your screen if you're watching. If you're listening, obviously, Lars and I are going to explain this to you. But former University of Alabama special teams coach Jeff Banks is now at Texas. Last night, apparent from several published reports, they were doing the Halloween thing. And Jeff dates a former stripper, pole dancer. She's called the pole assassin, believe it or not. Dated that girl while he was in Tuscaloosa.
I will refrain from
Jerry
comment.
Springer. You're not going to say anything about that?
No.
She was once a part of Jerry Springer's cast. But, and this is the part that's not funny at all. The rest of it is just bizarre, humorous.
Oh, there she is.
Apparently, a child reached in to try and.
Hold on. Are you
that's
seeing
the
this?
monkey?
Okay, I'm seeing the video for the first time.
I'm watching it.
I didn't realize that
I haven't seen this either.
She incorporates the pole, the monkey. The monkey is on the pole, and the monkey is giving like a dollar bill to her. Oh my gosh!
Right.
Okay. Roll Tide.
Not the same monkey that's in question last night, but apparently the monkey that they had. and it's called a support monkey. I guess she needs this for emotional support. That's what
right.
those animals are.
All right.
But a child reached in or was around Halloween, getting candy, and this monkey evidently just scratched and bit this child horribly. One report says to the point they had to pry the monkey's teeth away from the child's arm. That's horrifying. But it's just bizarre from A to Z. And I don't know what Jeff Banks does. What does Sark do? What do Texas fans do? What do you do with a monkey? And it's just, I think you understand now. The monkey on a toilet? Come on, Josh. We don't need to see everything.
This is the monkey's Instagram. Monkey has his own Instagram account.
Okay. For those that are listening on radio, just you can kind of picture.
We're seeing
the monkey looks kind of like the one
monkey on a toilet. I'm without
if you
comment.
want to get the visual, think of the monkey on Friends. Was it Marcel? Something like that. I don't know how much Friends you watch.
I'm sure you've never been to a strip club before,
yeah.
Matt. I'm positive. I'm positive you've never been to a strip club. But have you ever?
You'd be wrong. But
have you ever heard, just through your friends, of a stripper incorporating a monkey into her routine?
Not in the United States. Canada's a totally different story. And I'm not going to tell you how I know that. I'm not even going to go back into that.
Not even in
New York.
No.
I've heard some south of the border, and that's just way too disgusting to speak about. But anyway, picture the monkey from Friends in very unusual situations. I guess this just flies over. I mean, you just certainly hope that the child is okay.
It'd be pretty traumatic to be bitten by a monkey.
Maybe. Oh, God. What will Halloween and monkeys mean to that child the rest of his life? It's a sad situation there. But also, it is sad, first of all, for the child, but then / bizarre as you know what. It's one of those stories, Lars, and I was thinking about it as we're coming out of the break, and you are a very talented, creative writer. I somewhat maybe have some of those traits as far as a broadcaster, but it falls under the category you can't make that up.
No. You can't.
Would you rather just skip over this and get to a break?
Well, no, I don't know what sort of larger truth there is to divine from this situation other than Sark is in trouble already in Texas. And, if you basically haven't turned that program around in 3-4 years, you're gone. And the season hasn't gone the way that Sark had hoped. But I do think I do think Sark actually is the long-term answer at Texas. I do think he's going to do a good job. So now we have the quote from the girlfriend that Josh just put up on BAMA on our feed here. This is sad that people have to go all out of their way to prove that a person is lying. Here's the gate. I don't know. Here's the gate. Here's where all the haunted house action happened. And yes, I do clean up fast. The blank is gone. Here is the gate that every child and parent was told to turn around at when they got to. So apparently the monkey was behind the gate. That's the point that she's trying to make here.
Okay.
It was closed and blocked off with balloons. Oh, okay. Blocked off with balloons. This is how far the kid went in my backyard without permission, all the way to where my animals live. And watch this. I don't even play when it comes to my animals, and I know the legal rules on them. Do not enter. Emotional support animal. No touching. How could she, in hyphens, the monkey, viciously bite someone if they didn't stick their hand in there where it don't belong? This is her home and her home only. It's already clear as day on the gate. Don't touch. No one's allowed back here without my permission. All right. So apparently the child didn't read the sign that said, "Don't touch the monkey." I don't know, Matt. Look. Where do you go from here? Is Jeff Banks in trouble? I mean, it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing for Texas football.
I don't think there's any question that somebody needs to spank that monkey.
Dun-dun-dun. With that, we need to go. We need to go to break. You know what?
Yeah, there's
look,
no question
that whole
after that.
story, Matt. That whole story was just preamble for you to deliver that line. I know you. I know you so well. That whole buildup was for that line.
I can't say you're wrong. I really.
But it was well delivered.
Really good. It's a really good point to stop that conversation, because you think about all the different angles. You and I could get sideways in a ditch in a hurry.
Yes.
We will save that till next Monday when we go to Bob's again. You're listening to the Jay Barker Show. I'm Matt Coulter, along with Lars Anderson. What in the heck?
You're listening to the Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. The high today 63. For tonight, mostly fair with a low at 44. Cooler tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy. The high 55. Very cool on Thursday. The chance of some light rain at times. The high 53. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got some squeaky wipers? Sounds like it's time for a new set. We've got deals to help you get the job done and get ready for rainy fall weather. Right now, you can get a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Silicone Advantage wipers. And we've even got more ways to shop, like our free same-day store pickup and next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel, more ways to learn. Now try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
You heard you could save big when you bundle home and auto with Progressive, so you went online to check it out. But then you saw a link for a survey about which type of bread you are. And now you're on question 17, barely scratching the surface of your bread identity. You always thought of yourself as a brioche, but are you actually more of a pumpernickel? Ah, yes. They said it was easy to save money bundling with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more, plus free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor in Tuscaloosa with over 24 years experience. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Many affiliates along the Jay Barker Radio Network. Jay's on assignment. I'm Matt Coulter, along with Lars Anderson. We really had envisioned talking significantly about the upcoming Alabama LSU and Auburn at Texas A&M. The stories broke right as we got on the air, and then about 15 minutes into it, the first one, we're all saddened by the news that Charles Hollis, longtime sports writer for the Birmingham News and then again for AL.com, has passed away at his home in Coleman. He will be missed by fans, coaches, and his peers in the media. And quite honestly, some of the people in the media, not many you can say that about. But then we got about 15 minutes into the show, Lars, I think, and then this tragic story broke concerning former Alabama wide receiver Henry Ruggs III.
Yes. According to police in Las Vegas, Henry Ruggs was involved in a DUI crash early this morning in Las Vegas. And he's expected to be charged with DUI resulting in connection with the crash. DUI resulting in death in connection with the crash, which left one person dead. And Ruggs has already retained some high-profile attorneys, David Chesnoff and Richard Schofield, and they released the following statement, quote, "On behalf of our client, Henry Ruggs III, we are conducting our own investigation as of this writing and ask everyone to reserve judgment until all the facts are gathered." And the crash scene, it is horrific. It involves Ruggs' Chevy Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. Occurred at 3:40 a.m. near 3:40 a.m. at intersection of Rainbow Boulevard and South Spring Valley Parkway. Ruggs remained at the site of the crash, according to the police, and showed signs of impairment. And police said one person, identified by the Associated Press as a woman, was found dead inside the Toyota. And it was a crash that involved a lot of fire. And according to preliminary reports, Ruggs' Corvette struck the back of the Toyota RAV4 and igniting sort of an explosion. And the charged shell of this Toyota had been and Ruggs' mangled Corvette. It sat at the intersection for quite a while. It has subsequently been removed, but Matt, it just it looks like just a horrific scene. There was loss of life, and just a tragic story all around. Don't really want to make too many editorial comments at this point because we're still in the process of learning the facts, but it doesn't look good for Henry Ruggs.
No, it really doesn't. And tragedy for the young woman who perished, as a result of just a horrific crash. So anyway, Lars, we went all over the board today. Go teach some class. And when you stand up there and call roll, will you just do me one favor and go, Bueller?
I will, just for you. And the thing is that reference will fly right over the head over all of my students.
You're right. Absolutely. Don't bother doing anything from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We're out of here. It's Lars.
See you, Matt.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer